Hello and welcome everyone to the EL Civics Network meeting for December 3rd, 2025. So this one is a re-recorded meeting because I had some technical issues with the original recording. Anyway, so here's the agenda. We're going to have CDE update, the civic participation in IELCE, citizenship preparation, and other information. And then we did have a presentation by Baldwin Park's Jason Schmidt about their highly successful electrician program, but unfortunately, I will not be able to replicate that presentation. Okay, so first up is the CDE update. All right, so we had our latest WIOA 2 state network meeting on December 2nd, 1 to 2:30. And so this is the link to the recording. Be careful, there is a passcode here. This next link is linked to all of scheduled statewide WIOA 2 network meetings. And the next one is January 6, 2026 at 1 p.m. And to register, please click on this link. CDE update number 2. So just a few reminders here of the consolidation of EL Civics activities under Section 231 in Resource Code 3905. So this just means that Section 243 will focus strictly on IELCE with the training component. It's nothing new, just wanted to remind you that they actually have a resource code now for that. Next reminder is to make sure that you know for your IELCE and IET courses what is workforce training and what is workforce preparation. So there is a link to the IET at a glance guide to help you distinguish between those two. And if you have any questions regarding the above clarifications, please contact your CDE regional consultant. We have had some consultants retire very recently, so maybe you don't know who your new or current consultant is. You can reach out to the CDE by email at adulteducation@cde.ca.gov or by telephone, which is listed here. Okay, so civic participation in IELCE. All right, so there is a new EL Civics Basics webinar at this link here, and there are also slides here. They are on both the CASA's website and the YouTube support channel. Okay, so just going over some more basics, understanding co-op task scoring. So the example here is 30.4 task 1. This is a role play, speak to a pharmacist or pharmacy customer. So this one is a bit unique because the student can be take the role of the pharmacist, or the student can take the role of the customer. So it's up to the agency which role to have the student do. Content A has 8 items and 16 points possible. And so let's go over how the 8 items are made up of. So the description says, given an agency-created scenario which includes appropriate information, e.g. illness, name and type of medication needed, student participates in a role play with assessor in the role of pharmacist or pharmacy customer. Student participates in up to 8 interactions. So remember, 8 is for the intermediate, high to advanced. And so as you go lower in levels, the number is fewer. So the 8 interactions, such as request or respond to a request that a prescription be filled, ask or respond to up to 6 questions. And remember, again, 6 questions is the intermediate, high to advanced number. And so the lower the level, the fewer the number. So 6 questions about the prescription, and then close the conversation. So how it gets up to the 8 items is the yellow is the request or respond to a request that a prescription be filled. That's 1 item. And then ask or respond to up to 6 questions about the prescription. That's 6 items. And then close the conversation in blue. That's 1 item. So 1 plus 6 plus 1, that equals 8. Right. So during the meeting, there was a question, are all 3 components, the yellow, the green, and the blue, required? And the answer is yes. So the first one, the yellow, is the main part of the task, request a prescription be filled. Okay, so that one item is for all levels. Um, eh, eh, the same thing with the close the conversation in blue. That one item is for all levels. The difference comes in the green. So green, it can have up to six items, but if you notice in the green highlight, it says beginning low is 3, beginning high is 4, intermediate low is 5, and intermediate high to advanced is 6. Okay, so the three, the yellow, the green, and the blue, each of those three components is required. But the number of questions in the green part depends on the level of the class. Okay, so just a reminder about co-op record keeping. So agencies need to keep one folder for each EL Civics class, not individual student. That contains first the assessment, also the criteria that the teacher used to score their students. So you can copy paste the rubric from the CASA's website. And then lastly, the score sheets. So this is for the entire class, which lists the student names and pass, no pass. And then samples of student work for at least one pass and one no pass. So remember that if you happen to have a spectacular class that has a 100% pass rate and you have no student that did not pass, then you would only have the one pass as part of the evidence. Okay. And these need to be kept for 3 years plus the current year for auditing purposes, unless an agency knows that they'll be part of an ongoing audit, in which case you must keep your records for 5 years. Now, Lori, during the meeting, reminded everyone that our goal is to go for about an 85% pass rate. If you're always having 100% pass rate, maybe your assessments are too easy. You may want to fiddle with the assessment a little bit. If you're consistently getting lower than 85%, then definitely your assessments are too difficult and you need to make it easier. Also, remember that if a student does not pass an assessment, you can give more instruction and then retest the student. There is a section in TE where you can enter the no pass for the first try and then a pass for the second or third try, however many times the student takes it. But remember, you do need to provide extra instruction after a student doesn't pass the first time so that they have a better chance of passing the second time. Okay. All right, and we have some revisions to COAPs. So we only have one this time for 28.1. The task 2 total score was changed to 22 to correct the error. It was listed as 23, but it has been corrected to 22, which means that the total score is updated 46, not 47. And then also the rating scale was updated for advanced. The passing score now is 41. Intermediate high is 36. And intermediate low is 30. Beginning low and beginning high are not listed here because they did not do task 2, and so their total scores are not affected by this revision, right? And we do have a link to the document of revisions co-ops 2025, 2026 right here if you'd like to take a look. And we are developing a new co-op in CO number 70. So currently the co-ops in this civic objective only deal with early childhood education. And so we've noticed that been made aware of a need for a new co-op to help agencies better support students in paraeducator instructional assistant type programs that deal with older students. And perhaps including an emphasis on a writing task because some agencies, their students take a certification test that has a writing task that's part of that test. So we're going to be trying to find out if that is something that we should include. So if you are interested in being part of a focus group to help create a new co-op, our first meeting is Tuesday, December 9th, 2 to 3 p.m. So if you're interested, please email me sfitzpatrick@casas.org so I can send you the Zoom link. All right, so a little bit about the EL Civics Exchange. So very exciting. We now have 22 sets of materials up from 19. So we have two very, very brand new materials. One is 19.7, immigrants' rights, and 72.2, safety in building and construction trades. So if your agency is doing either of these two and you're wondering what are other agencies doing, please take a look and see if you can get ideas. And you can look at the other materials on the EL Civics Exchange by going to this link, elcivics@otan.us. All right, citizenship preparation. So usually Portia does this part, but since I'm re-recording, I will be going over these myself. So to contact Portia, you can email sit@casas.org. All right, so first up is the SIT interview test. This is a one-on-one oral interview test for high beginning to advanced English learners, and it includes personal information and information from the N400 application for naturalization. This simulates the interview and helps determine if a student is ready to pass the USCIS naturalization interview. Students pass the SIT with a score of 206 or above. So if a student does not pass, you can offer additional instruction and then retest them with the alternate form. We do have two, so forms 973 or 974, and it should take about 15 to 20 minutes. The citizenship interview does require the examiner to be certified. So to become a SIT examiner, place an order for the self-paced online training at CASA's product overview citizenship at this link here. There is no charge for this online training. However, they will ask you to select the Bill My PO box just before you check out. You will not be charged, but it is a little bit tricky. So we have made a video on how to enroll in this online training at SIT interview test certification and recertification on the YouTube channel. The SIT interview test recertification. So each certification expires each year on June 30th, and SIT examiners must recertify each year between January 30th and April 30th. Recertification is completed online, and SIT examiners will be notified about recertification procedures each January. And Portia says all the time, the earlier you do it, the better, so that you don't feel so jammed up for time. The CASA SIT certification and recertification training does close on April 30th of each year. And so if you have any questions or you need more information, please contact sit@casas.org or at this phone number. Next is the Government and History for Citizenship Test, the G&H. This is for 965 or 966, and this takes about 25 minutes. This is a listening test of knowledge of the American government and history. It's based on the USCIS 100 questions and can be given remotely through CASA's e-tests or flash drive option. Remember the flash drive option, each flash drive is per examiner. So if you have more than one examiner, please email CASA's to get the required number of flash drives. Students pass the G&H test with a score of 206 or above. And again, if a student does not pass, you can offer additional instruction and retest with the alternate form. Now, CASAS is updating the CASAS Government and History test to reflect changes to the UCIS Civics test. So the CASAS Government and History test does not assess every possible question that can be asked, and the content of the test is still relevant. The questions a UCIS officer asks are based on the applicant's N400 application for citizenship, and the CASA SIT assessment is not the naturalization interview. It does not test all of the information on the N400, but it's designed to predict success with that UCIS process. So some guides, there is a new text, One Nation, One People Civics textbook. This has been released by the USCIS. It's a textbook that prepares low-level English learners for the civics test portion of their naturalization interview. And a little bit from Jennifer Gagliardi, this guide includes images and diagrams throughout to facilitate the learning and retention of U.S. civics information. Okay, on to other information. There is a new agency and staff toolkit updated for the 25-26 school year and has lots of good information. Even if you're not new, for example, I often refer to the common acronyms used at CASAS because, there often is alphabet soup out there. So this is a link to the new agency staff and toolkit. All right. There is a Promising Practices Award, which recognizes agencies that have implemented strategies and practices to help students attain their goals. These practices must improve program accountability, develop skills students need in the workplace, promote collaboration and cooperation with other programs or agencies, promote the effective use of technology, promote effective student transitions, or have potential applications in other adult programs. So please consider nominating your agency for this award. For more information, please email me, sfitzpatrick@casas.org. Also, on the CASAS website, if you click on this link for Promising Practices, you can see previous Promising Practices Award winners to see what kinds of things are awarded this Promising Practice Award. All right, so we have some upcoming EL Civics meetings, dates for the 25-26 school year. So the next one will be January 28th. And then we have ones through February through May. There is no meeting in March due to different conferences, but we do have two in April. So at the beginning of April, April 1st, and at the end of April, April 29th. So please let me know if you have anything to share or present. And you can register at the site, californiaadultedtraining.org. All right, so since I'm re-recording this, if you have any questions, please email me at sfitzpatrick@casas.org. And this is just a slide to mention that we did have a presentation by Jason Schmidt from BPACE, Baldwin Park Adult and Community Education. They talked about their highly successful electrician program. I'm so sorry that you won't be able to listen to that presentation since the recording got corrupted and somehow I was not able to retrieve it from the Zoom system. But he talked about that they have two credentialed teachers. They teach a morning and evening class. They have a lot of recruitment. They go into the high school and even to the middle school to invite them to the adult school campus to do presentations to see, well, would you be interested in the future to become an electrician? And for electricians, the students that are graduating from their program are able to get very good wages, livable wages, and they find that they have a very full program every semester and sometimes even have a wait list. And they have a very high-tech kind of classroom. That one side of the classroom has, the tables and chairs of a regular classroom where the teachers co-teach. So the ESL teacher who provides the literacy support and the CTE teacher who provides the content. They're in this classroom at the same time on one side of the classroom with multiple display TVs. And then the other half of the class, they have a lab situation where the CTE teacher can physically demonstrate the types of things that they need to learn to pass the electrician certification test. So it was a very exciting presentation. And again, I'm sorry the recording got corrupted, and so we aren't able to share it with the rest of the EL Civics network. But if you do have any questions, this is Jason's contact information. And we also had Diana Casas, who was answering questions in the chat during the presentation. So that is also her email address. All right, so thank you very much for listening. If you have any questions, please email me, sfitzpatrick@casas.org. For general inquiries, you can always email elcivics@casas.org. That way, one of the The members of the EL Civics team can answer you in case one of us is sick or, for example, Lori has stepped down on her hours. So if you email one of us specifically, it might not get answered as in a timely manner. So please email elcivics@casas.org for the fastest response. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.